Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a simple animated Figma carousel. Start off with creating the pagination. I'm going to use ellipse tool. I'm going to select constraint proportions between 20. I'm going to change this to dot/default. Create a copy of this. Change this to activated. And I'm going to change the color. I'm going to turn them into component by clicking on the button over here, create component. I'll select both of these circles and then I'll combine them as a variant. Go ahead, create a copy, multiply them, duplicate the selection. Select all of them now, apply a auto layout, so Shift A, change this slightly, and I'm going to name this page 1. Actually, I'm going to have just 3, change the properties to activated. Page 1, the first dot will be activated. I'm going to create 2 more copies, page 2 and page 3. I'm going to change this to default. Activate the second dot and do the same for the third page. Okay, there you go. I'm going to create components for this and combine them as a variant. I'm going to call this pages. Now that I've created the pagination component variant, I'm going to move on to step number 2. Okay, in step number 2, we're going to create carousel frames. I'll just create a simple frame. Go 250 by 250. I'll create another frame. So I've got 3 frames now. I'll just change this to picture 1, picture 2, and picture 3. Go into resources over here, go to plugins, and find the Pixels plugin. Okay, while selecting the frame, pick images. Okay, I've placed in 3 images. The next thing I want to do is to turn them into components. So this one here, pick 1, picture 2, and picture 3. Select all of them, create an auto layout. I'll put in 50, rename this picture frame. Now create a larger frame and place it behind the carousel frames. So I'll go to frame, just create a larger frame, send this back, so right click, center back. I'm going to drag this into the frame. I'm going to position this. Use the positioning tools on the top. Get it into the center and get it to touch right to the top. Now I've got the center image in position. Go in and drag out the pagination. Okay, make sure it's right in the center. I'm going to bring it all the way out so it touches. Then I'm going to type in 270. So this means that there'll be a 20 pixel spacing there. Select the frame. I'll shrink down the width to 450. Okay, make sure everything's in position. Then I'm going to reduce the height. This would be carousel frame B because it's in the middle. And next is to go into the third step. In this third step, we're going to copy and paste the same number of carousel frames. 3 copies. I'll start to move them around. Start with this here. I'm gonna move this. Make sure it's not out of the frame. And somehow move this into the center. Alright, like so. Keep this one in the center and then I'm gonna move it into the center of the pagination. Now, of course, there are better ways to move this. If you calculate the distance, I think that's a lot more accurate. But in this demonstration, I'm just going to move them manually. I'm going to rename them Carousel A, B, and C, and change the pagination over here, page 1, and then page 3. Select all of this now. Come over to components. I'm going to create a component set. Now that this is done, I'm going to add interactions to all of these carousels. Go to prototype mode. Double click until I get to the picture. I'm going to pull out the string, attach it to the next frame on drag. I'm going to change this to Smart Animate. Ease out 100 ms. This is going to drag to this. I'm going to double click all the way to the second picture. This is going to be able to drag to that. And also to be able to drag to image C. Go down to the last image, double click till you get there, and create a drag interaction back to image B. Looks like it has been set up. Now let's give it a test. Go to frame, I'm going to bring in one of these standard frames. Go back to design mode. Select this, drag a copy of this. Get it centralized and test it. Shift spacebar will allow you to open up the prototyping screen. And there you go. A very simple prototype. You get a very nice, simple drag animation as well. You don't have to worry about the color of the frame because let's just say it's black and this white frame is not exactly what you want it to be. You don't have to worry about this because all you have to do is just go back into the frame and just turn off the frame color. Just do that with all of the frame colors. And you would not have any problem later on. Still be able to function as per normal. Anytime you want to change pictures, you can use these components over here. I'm going to bring up that picture. For example, if I want to get rid of this picture, and everything else will change. All right, so this system becomes very handy. If you component everything, it's going to make organizing your carousels very easy in the future. All right, so that's all for creating a very simple drag interaction with pagination carousel.